Top news headlines. Prime Minister Modi seeks support from Ukraine in ongoing evacuation efforts. And India reports 4,362 new COVID-19 cases and 66 deaths in the last 24 hours. Hello and welcome to ELITETV. You're watching the Prime Time English News Bulletin. I am Sanatombi with the latest news and updates. Before giving you the news, we request you to follow the SOP given by the government. Wear face masks when out in public, wash hands regularly, and maintain a minimum distance of 6 feet between one person and another. ELITETV requests you to get vaccinated in time to protect ourselves from this virus and play a part in the fight against COVID-19. Now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday spoke to Ukrainian President Zelensky and sought his support in evacuation of Indian students stuck in northeastern Ukraine's Sumy city. Around 700 Indian students are stranded in Sumy amid intense fighting between Russian and Ukrainian troops. In a phone conversation that lasted for around 35 minutes, Prime Minister Modi thanked President Zelensky for the help extended by the government of Ukraine in evacuation of Indians. An official statement said Modi expressed deep concern about the ongoing conflict and resultant humanitarian crisis and reiterated his call for immediate cessation of violence. It said Modi noted that India has always stood for peaceful resolution of issues and direct dialogue between the two parties. It was a second telephonic conversation between Modi and Zelensky after the conflict began in Ukraine. On the basis of available reports and after taking all the material circumstances into account, the Election Commission of India declared under the subsection Clause 2 of Section 58 of the Representation of the People Act 1951 that a poll taken on 5th March 2022 in the following polling stations to be void and re-poll will be held in these polling stations from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. in accordance with the Commission's instruction contained in Chapter 13 of the Handbook for Returning Officers 2019. The polling stations to get re-poll are 44 by 45 Ukhrul of 44 Ukhrul AC, 45 by 25 Kalhang and 45 by 31 Pe of 45 Chingai AC, 47 by 49 Namju of 47 Karong AC, and 49 by 4 Yankulen and 49 by 51 Mao Marafi of 49 Dadubi AC in a press release statement by the Election Commission of India. AMSO banned from entering Manipur Technical University. Students of MTU has banned the entry of AMSO in the premises of the university for creating chaos and disrupting the normal functioning of the educational institution. The announcement on ban of AMSO from the university was made in a press meet held at the campus of Manipur Technical University in Takyelpa today. Speaking to media persons, a student of the institution, one Muhammad Usman Ghani, said that students of MTU stand against any disruptive individual or group acting under the guise of students' welfare. He also asserted that the news of the appointment of Dr. Babeshwar as the Vice-Chancellor of the university was received in high spirits by the students in the hope that the Vice-Chancellor will uplift the standard of the university. But the recent confusion ignited by an organization named AMSO to replace the Vice-Chancellor is quite unfortunate and has hampered the activities of the institution. Therefore, for the welfare of the students and for a stable environment in the institution, students of MTU have opposed the entry of AMSO and any group standing against the ideals of the institution, he continued. He also added that AMSO should take responsibilities for any untoward incidents that occur in the aftermath of this resolution.
ki se so ro mai ro lup sing oi ro adudi ko MTU ki satra sing mai kai degi taram nokcha gani adubu amso gumba mai ro ki mai kum upsil laga masai ki personal interest ta university amabu lan uhanna bala lebas amadi university ki asi ki ayat apa pirat leba MTU ki mai ro sing na makoi si yek na bani haina lobo loina na university asi ki campus ta matam chupa ki oina amso bo thing ba thamle karigumba masigi makhatar poina amso na karigumba MTU ki academic to ero natraga atopa MTU ki university asiga mari leina ba thau tharam singda e apa pirak abadi karigumba maduda tholakpa phatanung dagi daita amso masana pujagada
7-day-long training and workshop on the theme Techniques for Cancer Research start off today at Manipur University Court Hall, organized by Cancer and Molecular Biology Lab Department of Biotechnology, Manipur University, and Multidisciplinary Translational Biotech Research Foundation. Speaking on the occasion, Manipur University Vice Chancellor Professor Anlokendra Singh said it is necessary to stave up with the research technology with our available infrastructure. The infrastructural development is to be done by Government of India National Education Policy. The policy is focusing on interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary studies. He further stated that this workshop will help people to gain skills on the life sciences and will give more knowledge of cancer research. The function was attended by Manipur University Vice Chancellor Professor Anlokendra Singh, Manipur University Dean School of Life Sciences Professor R. Baratharajan, Imphal IBSD Director Professor Pulok K. Mukherjee, Manipur University Department of Economics Professor E. Bijoy Kumar Singh, Manipur University HOD Department of Biotechnology Professor Lisam Sanju Kumar.
Probably PhD which was submitted in Manipur University around 1986 or 87. As of today, the number of PhDs which our university has produced has gone up to more than 1,000 and a few hundred. Our scholars, our faculties have worked, have contributed tremendously in different areas of applied sciences, basic science, social sciences, and even in humanities. But I think it is now the right time for the university to consolidate the quantitative expansion that we have had so far. We need to revise and review the focus departments.
Phase 1 of intensified Mission Indradhanush 4.0 kicks off in the state from today. Mass vaccination across 15 districts in the state will begin under IMI 4.0 from today, announced Manipur State Mission Director Dr. N. Siamjai. He made a statement at a conference hall of Directorate of Family Welfare Services by kicking off the first phase of mass vaccination to be done under 3 phases. The inaugural ceremony of the mission, jointly organized by Manipur Directorate of Family Welfare Services and State Health Society NHM Manipur, Immunization Officer Dr. T. Manihar, along with other important dignitaries of the department. Speaking further, Dr. M. Siamjai said that the mission has been kicked off with the objective to execute routine vaccination of the newly born infants and pregnant women that has been hampered by the COVID-19 pandemic. The first phase will continue for 7 days beginning today, that is 7th March 2022, while the second and third phases will commence from 4th April 2022 and 2nd May 2022 respectively and will last for a week each, he added. He also further mentioned that Sanatombi district will not be included under this mission and announced that National Immunization Day for this year will be held on the 24th, 25th and 26th of March 2022.
Positive COVID-19 pandemic khara handara abina ida kapo do anganchi natraka ida kapo de sithau bo ngai samna de English na de laptop do problem na de kapo di mo de ro kapo do ba ha ma kapo do di pandemic ko sina ko ida kapo do sinse hai ba kai sinse na si de ora ba March ti tai tare te ki ma hore ke bil ki tai madi de ki ma hogani adu ye ki tai ani de ki ma hogani hai ba si hafta ma sa te jagani.
NPF demands re-poll in 6 polling stations in Tecnopol AC. President of NPF Tecnopol unit in a press meet held at NPF Tecnopol office in Maringfai village said that NPF is ready to call for blockade and other forms of protest if the demands to conduct re-poll in the 6 polling stations that have witnessed violence on election day or to rule them out in counting of votes are not made. He further said EVMs were demolished in 42/4 Am Rimpang, 42/13 Saibol, 42/16 Machi A, 42/18 Konai Tong, 42/42 Rilram Center, and 42/43 Kambang Kulen polling stations in Tecnopol AC on election day on 5th of March 2022. However, on investigation by the NPF, it is alleged that the disarray originated due to the indulgence of state forces by the BJP to win election by force. Therefore, if an order to declare the votes in these polling stations as void or an order to stop to conduct re-poll in these polling stations is not issued by the Election Commission of India, then the NPF is prepared to challenge the ECI, he continued.
EVM replace the way to Madu Masin Chibli. Kanasu Lakte, EVM to Kaidi Purakusu Hote. Last EVM symbolized in a Moise for signing of self power. No in the Chilaga. Assam Rifle na Borada Formula of Putin. Sibai Army Pull-up Halaga. At the EVM symbolized in a Moise. Chain the Nakana Torpe, Pungmari, presiding officers so other Laiba, Tamakai Kana, Selection seeing her. Adu Matunda, last Aina Pambati. EBM so Sindusulite, Rangi reported the EBM Silapum Marie Power I had do Madu evidence calculated. Video camera Sularamuni, Wedesu, Matusu Puto, hygiene. Aduga, Maruena, Karigumba, report already, polling station, Turkse report already. Equate the party going at it.
Corcom extended their warm wishes with the coming of World Women's Day on 8 March. Women's Day, which will be celebrated all around the world on the theme Gender Equality for a Sustainable Tomorrow. Supporting the team, the armed group Corcom in a press release stated that United Nations have clearly shows that the bright future of the society formed with gender equality and looks forward to build up a developed ecological system. Time for a short commercial break. More news and updates will continue after the break.
WMC is excited to announce that the third plenary session 2022 Delhi will be held on the 17th of April 2022 at Western Court, Janpat, New Delhi. This year's theme is Reawakening Our Spirit of Oneness. ELITETV is our media and channel partner. The entire event on 17th April will be telecast live on ELITETV. This event is organized by World Meitei Council. For more details, contact us on worldmeiteicouncil@gmail.com or 981-855-9349 or 991-083-6635.
Seasonaview Yai Lifestyle Private Limited की food supplement registered under the MCA Ministry of Corporate Affairs हाइरिबा मखल असिगी product मंगादगी कानबा फंगबिगनी मदुदी अहानबदा Perfect Plus urinary tract infection disease kayadagi ngakthokpa ngami control glucose levels in blood improve immunity antioxidant liver disease amadi liver shokhanbadagi ngakthoi remove toxins haksangdagi fataba sengdokpa lok laihau toina tagunbadasu fali ani subada perfect glow uring amadi mahing fahanba acne scar fahanba mai nanthokhanba skin nganthokhanba kuchuk men thokhali mai khwihande hum subada perfect ionic mineral diabetes BP wangba asthma khwang naba saru sonba haksangdagi fataba sengdokpa tumbayadaba piles arthritis ising mari nuaitaba anti aging khongya saba puramak fahali mari subada perfect active brain na tumbayadaba fahali kok ngawba wakal pothahanba tumbayadaba memory booster tension handhanba musung mga subada Perfect Woman Care na urinary tract infection, premenstrual syndrome, angang kaudana ba, thagi khongkak chang nai daba, fingaw ka hena chatpa, vaginal infection kaya da fahan mangami. delivery gi khudong sabasu phongbigani hena kupamarol gi dama khoi contact number 8413968314 da contact tobiu.
Welcome back, now morning's updates. Manipur reported 5 new coronavirus cases and 0 COVID-19 deaths out of 930 samples tested in the last 24 hours, recording a positivity rate of 0.5%. Meanwhile, with 4,362 positive COVID cases recorded in the country today, India's total tally of COVID-19 cases rose to 4,29,67,315, while the active cases dipped to 54,118, according to the Union Health Ministry data. The death count climbed to 5,15,102 with 66 fresh fatalities, the data updated at 9 a.m. stated. The daily COVID-19 cases have remained less than 1 lakh for 29 consecutive days. The last time India's daily new cases fell below 5,000 was on 16 May 2020, when 4,864 new cases were reported nationwide. The active cases comprise 0.13% of the total infections, while the national COVID-19 recovery rate has further improved to 98.68%, the ministry said. Voting for the 7th and last phase of the Uttar Pradesh Assembly elections for 54 seats began on a dull note on Monday, with only 8.5% of voters exercising their rights in the first 2 hours. Voting started at 7 a.m. and will end at 4 p.m. in Chakia Chandoli, Robertsganj and Dudhi Sonbhadra seats, while in the rest of the segments it will continue till 6 p.m. The districts where polls are underway in this phase are Ajamgarh, Mau, Jaunpur, Gazipur, Chandoli, Varanasi, Mirzapur, Bhadohi and Sonbhadra. The voting percentage till 9 a.m. is 8.58%, according to the ECI's voter turnout aid. Scores of leading brands across industries from entertainment to banking to motor vehicles and others have decided to suspend operations in Russia as a show of solidarity with Ukraine. Moscow has continued its military advance against Kyiv for 12 days now, displacing more than 1.5 million people in Ukraine who have forced to seek refuge in foreign lands. At a time like this, the growing number of multinational companies exiting Russia, along with a horde of sanctions imposed by the West, is bound to dampen the country's economy. Among the latest to retreat is streaming giant Netflix, which joined a long line of major entertainment companies and Hollywood studios that have shut down operations in Russia. TikTok and Snapchat are among top social media companies to stop services in Russia. In a huge setback earlier on the weekend, payment giants Visa and MasterCard announced suspension of activities in Russia in response to President Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine, a move that was appreciated by U.S. President Joe Biden. Visa and MasterCard say that any transactions initiated with their cards issued in Russia will no longer work outside the country from March 10, while cards issued outside Russia will also not work in the country. Ukraine says it has retaken Lviv city and killed 2 high-ranking Russian commanders during the battle. The General Staff said that defending forces had seized the city from the Russians and inflicted heavy losses on Putin's men in both personnel and equipment. 2 high-ranking Russian commanders were killed in the battle. The strategic city of 31,000 people is located 23 miles from Kharkiv, the second biggest city in Ukraine, which has been subjected to intense bombardment. The General Staff said on Facebook, in the course of hostilities, the city of Lviv was liberated. All India Dental Student Association today shared a video of Indian students in Sumy, Ukraine, still pleading from Government of India to rescue them and requesting Operation Ganga for help. It may be mentioned that on Sunday, Embassy of India in Ukraine announced team from Embassy of India is stationed in Poltava city to coordinate the safe passage of Indian students stranded in Sumy to western borders via Poltava. The Tripura government has decided to dedicate the old central jail compound into a library named after neighboring Bangladesh, father of the nation. Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. According to historians, Bangabandhu spent a night in the old central jail complex during the Bangladesh Liberation War, and this is why the state government is keen to dedicate this place in his memory. Tripura government sources say the project was almost in the final stage, but due to some problems, it could not work out. Thus, a new plan of converting the historic building into a library came up in the discussions. A botanical garden may also be built alongside the library, considering the demands of Mukta Mancha, a platform of intellectuals and civil society members. For ELITETV News Channel, contact the email address info@elitetv.in or the phone number 940-289-0982 and subscribe to ELITETV YouTube channel or follow on Facebook page, Instagram and Twitter for more information about the channel. And now the headlines once again. Prime Minister Modi seeks support from Ukrainian government in ongoing evacuation efforts. And India reports 4,362 new COVID-19 cases and 66 deaths in the last 24 hours. Well, that's all we have on this edition of ELITETV English News. Thanks for watching ELITETV and have a great time.